Hi and welcome. In today's class, we're going to focus on some core exercises that will help to improve your flow. Let's begin today's class with a brief seated meditation. Let's begin today's class kneeling. Unless it bothers your knees, then just sit cross-legged. Another variation you could do, I'm doing toes curled under to get a little stretch and opening for the toes. You could slide a block in between your heels so that it's more comfortable to sit like that. So whatever position feels comfortable for you, sitting cross-legged, kneeling, toes pointed back. You can even lie on your back while we take an opportunity to connect to the breath. So as you close your eyes, let your pelvic roots drop down, your sit bones, your pubic bone, your tailbone, and feel your spine start to release tension so you can float up, your rib cage balancing over your head, balancing over your pelvis. And the breath is going to help us to create a meditative quality in our practice. And we're practicing letting the breath come and go in and out through the nose without restriction. Watch your breath. See if you can follow it all the way to the end. Notice the quality of the inhalation, the feeling as you pause for a moment. Slow, steady breathing in and out through the nose. As you're practicing your breathing meditation, just let the thoughts come and go. One of the things that we're practicing in meditation is being the witness of the thoughts. So taking a little bit of space from being identified with the thoughts. We're really not the thoughts. It's a stream, sometimes of high vibration, positive and inspired ideas coming through, sometimes more fear-based. But ultimately, through our practice of meditation, we become better at choosing which streams we'll tap into. Personally, for me, when I wake up, it tends to go more towards the fear and anxiety. And then through a practice of meditation and centering, I get better, a little bit better, at choosing the higher vibration. But it doesn't come naturally, and that's why we practice. That's why we practice asana, that's why we practice meditation. Open your eyes and come onto your hands and your knees for some cat-cow. With your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips, round through your spine as you exhale. And as you inhale, roll your spine into extension. See if you can roll up from the pelvis. Now in reverse, let's start from the head. Roll your chin to your chest. Roll your chest to your belly, round your upper back, round your middle, lower back, and your pelvis. And then start from your head. Look forward. Let your heart drop towards the ground, your lower back, and flip your pelvis. Round chin to chest, round upper back, spread shoulder blades, lower back, tuck your butt. And into extension, start from your head and your neck, like a wave rolling through your spine. Come to neutral spine. Feels good to move the spine around. Curl your toes, stretch back, downward facing dog. Bend your right knee and stretch your left heel towards the ground. I'm doing a little shorter dog so that I can ground the heel, so I can focus and bias the stretch in the calf muscles. Change, bend your left knee, reach the right heel down. Change, bend the right knee and stretch the left heel towards the ground. One more, bend the left knee, stretch the right heel towards the ground. Then stretch both heels towards the ground as best you can. Inhale into plank pose. Set your knees down onto the ground. And we're going to do an exercise to help to strengthen our ability to move the scapula in the plank. This is going to be really good for our core and really good for our arm balances. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to squeeze your buttocks, firm your buttocks down towards the backs of your knees, and feel your front rib cage draw down towards your pelvis. Now, maintaining that, slowly retract your shoulder blades. Let them move towards each other. Keep the tuck in your butt so your lower back doesn't drop. Then press your shoulder blades away from each other into the hands. Contract slowly, or retract rather. Keep the tuck of your butt and press away. If you're strong enough to do this, you can do it with legs straight, but make sure you really get good control in the scapula. You should have the same range of motion, and you shouldn't lose the tuck or squeeze of the buttock. And let's just bust out 10 of these. If you can feel that the movement doesn't come as well as when you have your knees down, then just do it with the knees down. No shame in that. Then hold the pressed or protracted scapula position as you hold in plank, whether the knees were down or not now. See if you can lift the knees. Lift the femurs and squeeze your buttocks towards your heels as you elongate. Press the floor away from you. You should feel your abs on fire at this point. Press, press, press. Reach the ground away. Good, then set your knees down. And here's where you might want to take some support if you don't have a very strong reverse plank. If you have a very strong reverse plank, just go for it. Otherwise, come into a reverse plank with support. Just like you did knees down in that last one, the support will help you to train the scapular action. Now we're going to take hands reverse. So also, if you're not used to that, you're going to want some support. And this could just be a stack of books if you don't have a couple of blocks. Align your shoulder over your wrist. Let your shoulder blades come away from each other, so you're slouching into your shoulders a bit, and then draw your shoulder blades towards each other and down your back. Now, as your thighs, groins release down, squeeze your buttock towards the backs of your knees, engage the legs, and roll the heart open. And then we'll move through that 10 times. Let the shoulder blades spread, and then retract. Now as you retract, keep the squeeze of the buttock and don't press your ribs out. See if you can just move the scapula on a still rib cage, so you're keeping the integrity of your core. You're not extending or arching through your upper lower back at all. Keep the lumbar spine fixed as you move your shoulder blades. And if this feels too easy on the support, just hold your buttock up in the air. Practice going through the fullest range. So I feel that when my buttoc's up, I can hold up, but I can't really get the full range yet. I'm not as practiced at this as I should be. So I get better range holding the buttock or supporting the buttock. And that's okay. It's more important to get the full movement of the scapula. Now we're going to hold that top position, and you can hover your buttock up unless it feels like it's too much on your wrist or your elbows for 30 seconds. If you're all the way up, squeeze the hamstrings and the glutes, but still breathe through your nose. Then lower yourself down and come onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Feel your lower back flat on the ground and reach your rib cage down as you bring your head up to your knees. Keep the lower back on the ground as the arms go forward. See if you can slowly reach the legs forward without the lower back leaving the ground. Now, if you have that and it's really easy to keep the lower back down, see if you can take the arms back too as we hold for 30 seconds. Don't let the lower back lift, even if you have to just keep this position. 10 more seconds. Hug your knees in, roll yourself up, plant your hands next to your hips. Lift your right leg as high as you can. Change, lift your left leg as high as you can. And then lift the right 5 times. Change, lift the left. Then plant the hands, lift the buttocks, and see if you can lift both legs or just hold one leg up. So we need not only good compression in the core, but strength in our hip flexors to be able to hold the legs up. Change legs if you're doing one-legged. Press the floor down and away, lift up. Lower your butt down, cross your legs, and come onto your hands and your knees. Find your core here. Stretch your right leg back, reach your left arm forward. Now, just like you were feeling when we were doing the reverse plank hold, firm the buttock out of the lower back, turn on the hamstring to lift the leg higher, but don't let your rib cage sink at all to the ground. Stretch your left arm. Reach your pelvis out of your lower back and see if you can reach the hand and the leg further away from each other as they go up. Don't let your middle drop at all. Change sides. Release that. Cross your legs, sit back, and lie onto your side. Stretch your left arm forward as you lie onto your left side, and then take it about a foot from lined up with your shoulder back. Then from this position, balancing on your left outer hip, squeeze your legs together, tuck your buttock, draw your belly in, and lift the legs up. Press into the arm and see if you can hover your torso up off the ground too. So you're just balancing on your hip. If your balance is really good, bring your right hand to your right thigh and then control it down. And lift up and down 10 times. So we're training the balance. We're training our obliques here. In addition to that, we're making the back of the shoulder strong. And this is going to be important for our side planks. In our side planks, tendency is for internal rotators to take over, but we want to be able to feel the muscles in the back of the shoulder for more symmetry and shoulder health. Feel your rib cage in, your buttocks tucked and your legs squeezed tight as you hover up and down. And then change sides. You can see what it looks like from the behind now. There's a slight pike in the legs. Legs come forward just slightly instead of straight out. Lift and lower 10 times. Hold at the top, squeeze your buttocks, squeeze your legs. Feel the back of the shoulder working to help to keep you upright. And release, roll back onto your back. We're just gonna do that one more round. So bring your knees to your chest, curl yourself up, arms forward. Feel your lower back flat, and then maybe take the legs forward. There's also the one-legged option you can practice. One-legged, one-armed. Don't let that lower back lift. If you're doing one-legged, change sides now. Hug your knees in and roll up. Plant your hands next to your hips. To make this exercise more challenging, lean your body forward a little bit and then lift your right leg 5 times. If it's too challenging to get the leg up at all, lean yourself back. The further forward, the harder it is because you're working a tighter angle of hip flexion. Change legs. Plant the hands, lift the buttock up, lift your right leg and hold, or lift both legs. I can't hold this one with both legs. It's a short hold. Change legs. Release that. Come onto your hands and your knees. Left arm forward, right leg back. Now this round, if you want to make it more challenging, you can try coming in and out of the position, or you're just welcome to hold it. Your call. I'm just going to hold for the 30 seconds. You can come in and out of it if you prefer some movement. Change sides. Release that. Lie onto your side. I'm going to start on the right side this time just to switch it up. Here we go. 10 times. Control yourself up and down. For the side balance. Balance on your outer hip. Keep the legs squeezed, the butt squeezed. See if you can lift up to the same height, the torso and the legs. Feel the muscles in the back of the shoulder helping to support you. Change sides. Then come onto your hands and your knees. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale into plank position. And come into side plank with your left elbow down. Now, as you hold in the side plank and press your forearm down, feel that you can feel those muscles in the back of the shoulder turning on to help to support your healthy shoulder, and feel the obliques, the same muscles that were working to bring the legs and the torso up on the right side. You should feel those on the left side here with your left elbow down. Squeeze your legs. Feel your leg muscles turn on, your glutes and your core. Change sides, right elbow down, left arm up. Both elbows down. Walk into down dog on your forearms. If you need a break, set your knees down. Even throw a child's pose in there. Otherwise, go right into down dog on the forearms. Now you can work on your down dog forearm variations, holding one leg up and then changing legs. Or you can go right into headstand, handstand, or forearm balance. If you're feeling like real fatigued and you'd rather just chill out at this point, take a standing forward fold and just work on stretching your hamstrings and breathing. Rest yourself in child's pose now. Unless you're in the standing forward fold and you just want to chill there, hang out there. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for class today. If you'd like to finish with a 5-minute guided Shavasana, then you can click this link over here. If you'd like to finish with a 5-minute silent Shavasana, you can click this link here. Shavasana is the most important part of your practice, so I recommend that you finish with that. I'll see you next time.